What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 24th Annual Garden State Film Festival. We are live streaming from the beautiful, the gorgeous Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel in the Shared News Podcast Lounge. My name is Ming Chen.
CJ Collins.
And we have...
Eric Ascalon.
Eric, welcome back, man. Famed
Great
board
to be
member.
here. Great to be here.
Former resident of Anchorage, Alaska, marathon runner, whiskey drinker, and listen, none of this happens without him. He's very high up in the Garden State Film Festival. You bind all of us together. You're like the Force from Star Wars, man.
You're the Force, man. You're the Force.
I use the Force. I don't know if I am the Force, but forget all of us.
Are you the Yoda now?
I'm as short as Yoda, yeah. But none of us matter. We're here for the amazing filmmakers. We have an amazing filmmaker to my left. Could you please introduce yourself and the name of your film?
Hi, I'm Ilana Safer, and my short film is The Unburdened, and today is our New Jersey premiere.
Congratulations.
Wow,
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I'm no better place to premiere than the Garden State Film Festival.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I grew up in New Jersey and have fond memories of Asbury Park as a little kid in the summer, so... Today is a different experience.
Yeah, a little colder.
Little windy.
A little warmer today than yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, though.
Yeah, first of all, welcome home. But how cool is it to premiere in Asbury?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it evokes memories from childhood, and so much of my film has to do with memories. And it's based on a true story, actually.
Yeah, could you please tell us about The Unburdened?
Yes. So I'll rewind back to being a kid growing up in Livingston, New Jersey. And in middle school, my two best friends and I, we were 80s kids, so we actually played outside in the yard, and we were always outside, and you rode bikes, and your parents didn't know what you were doing.
We remember.
I remember that.
We're on the older side. So
Come back for dinner when it gets dark. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or when the
it.
streetlights come on.
Yeah.
No cell phones.
No cell phone.
No, please. So I don't know if kids do this today, but we buried a time capsule and put things in there and planned to dig it up one day. Mm-hmm. So of course we're best friends, and then we grow apart. And many years later, even decades later, my best friend in town, my former best friend in town, she moved to California. Yeah. I got a phone call. Her parents were selling the house, and she said, "Dad, my friends and I, we buried a time capsule when we were in 7th grade.
Yeah.
We've got to dig it up."
So
it was like a movie where we went and we actually dug it up, and there was nothing, I'm going to say, consequential in the time capsule. It was just kind of silly things that kids put in there, and I'll keep it private.
Pail kids.
Yeah. However, I also had an experience as a kid that continues through today. So I happen to be the grandchild of Holocaust survivors from Europe, very serious subject. And I had all four of my grandparents living. I have one left, but I had specifically two grandparents that they had really, really awful stories, just the worst of the worst that you've read about. And as a young kid, going to a Jewish private school and having Holocaust Remembrance Day be very important in my community, in my synagogue, in my school, it was very normal to me to have this memorial programs and education. It was always top of mind. The thing for me, being 9, 10, 11 years old, having this awareness all the time that this wasn't just something that happened to someone else, this happened to me and my family, and how my grandparents couldn't tell me certain things, and what I learned at what age and what I found out years later, so obviously I had friends that their grandparents were born in America, which was amazing to me. I would say, you are so lucky. Your grandparents were born in America. Your great-grandparents were in America? Wow. Because I just felt so, there was a generational trauma that had passed down. Now, nobody wants to go sit and watch a short film about trauma, right? That's not fun. So I took this real life experience of burying this time capsule with my friends that had nothing to do with what I just told you. And I imagined, what if there was something in that time capsule that was connected to this experience that I had?
Yeah.
So the short film is about, I star in it, and I wrote it, and I produced it. I play a dedicated mother who's racing to assemble a Holocaust memorial program for her daughter's school, my pretend daughter's school. Meanwhile, there's been a complaint from an anonymous parent that, to tone it down, it's a little too traumatizing for the kids. Right.
There's always that
Yeah.
one
Always
person.
the
They're like,
one.
oh,
Well, today
yeah.
everything is, sensitivity and
Sure.
trauma was not a word when
Right.
I was growing up. And also, okay, it really happened. And what's the age? Okay, when are we going to talk about what? When
Yeah.
you're 12, when you're 15, when you're
Yeah, when it's the
25?
appropriate age. It's like, it happened, yeah.
And even though this is specific to my experience, it's really a universal, I think it has universal implications for anyone who has pain or tragedy in their
Right.
family, whether it's tied to being part of a particular minority or persecuted group, or even something that's happened to you. And I don't mean to diminish the experience of being the grandchild of Holocaust survivors,
Right.
because it's a very, very specific experience. But there are things that families go through, and what we tell and what we don't tell. So the story of the short film in 13 minutes is that my character is putting together this program, gets a phone call from her best friend growing up. We have to dig up the time capsule
Yeah.
because the land is being sold. So I drop everything and we run and we meet, and we're like outside. We shot this in New Jersey. We're outside in the cold with the shovels and the dirt,
Digging holes.
literally digging holes.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's one of my favorite moments of watching the film with an audience for the very first time at our world premiere, which was in New York, when you see all the holes dug up and everyone starts laughing, because it's a drama, but people still find the moments to laugh.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
And so what happens when, as these friends are digging up the time capsule, what else gets
Unburied.
dug up?
Yes,
Exactly,
for sure.
exactly. And there's definitely a couple twists in there that we threw in, which I won't give away.
Yeah,
Where did
no,
you film in Jersey?
Both in Jersey City and
So
Livingston.
you filmed both of those?
So it's 100% shot in New Jersey.
Wow.
We were using
Amazing.
a lot of Jersey-based crew, which was really great, because we actually shot this. The story was, I started writing it at the end of 2021 and finished it in 2022. Went into production in 2023, and then we spent a while in post. So
Yeah.
here we are. It's 2026. So it's
Yes.
hard to believe. It's been
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
It has been a journey.
Yeah.
This has been a story that we've all spent many years with. The team, it's just been incredible. So what's interesting is we have an all Jewish cast, which is really helpful for having really authentic representation. But actually, other than our director and maybe, I want to say 1 to 2 executive producers, the whole crew, including the editor, was very diverse.
Yeah.
Not just non-Jewish, but like every
Just diverse.
everything.
Yeah,
I
amazing.
mean, just so you have a lens of, okay, sometimes you wonder, as a Jewish person, wait, is this just interesting to me? Like,
Yeah.
do I just care? And then I had all this reinforcement from people from all these other cultures and groups telling me, I read the script and I just cried and I wanted to work on it. So
Oh, that's amazing.
that
That's
was,
amazing.
yeah.
If I can relay some of my own personal experience, so my own grandfather is a Holocaust survivor. He passed away a few years ago, and growing up, although my family talked about it with me, my grandfather never spoke of it until he watched. My father convinced him to go and watch Schindler's List with him, and that experience opened him up. And after that, he then started talking about his experience, and he started opening up. He participated in the in Steven Spielberg's project,
The foundation. I also interviewed.
and it was really amazing, the power of film to really open up one's experience and kind of unleash some of those traumas, and it was really powerful. And during the pandemic, he lived on his own in his late 90s in Queens still, where he spent most of his life after the Holocaust. And he participated in another project where, on a Zoom call, there was an organization in New York, and I forget the name of the organization, but he also kind of shared his experience, over a Zoom call, and which was archived. So it was really the power of film to really help people cope with these sorts of traumas, and these is pretty remarkable.
Yeah. And again, if I said, hey, I'm going to make a short film about trauma, like nobody wants to watch it, but my film is also about friendships and parenting styles. And, I had a friend watch it and say, I was so struck by how the female friendship, when you're younger, you think you're going to be best friends forever, and then how that doesn't actually happen.
Right.
So it's funny what hits people. I felt very moved when you talked about Schindler's List, because I remember I was a kid when that movie came out. My parents went to see it and they came home. They didn't want me to watch it because there was nudity in it. They didn't want, because I had still to this day, very overprotective parents. And I just remember eventually I saw it, but again, it's what age? Think about what kids are exposed to today.
Right.
So that's one thing. I remember putting some of their testimony, even though they were alive. I spoke on their behalf for the Shoah Foundation, and it is really incredible what film does. What's amazing about Garden State is this is not an afternoon of Jewish films at all. We happen to be programmed with some wonderful Jewish films, which I'm so excited. So we've been at some film festivals that were, all topics, all genres, and then we've been at Jewish film festivals. I went to the Austin Jewish Film Festival and I was mobbed like a celebrity. I was mobbed after that screening, and all these people came up to me, mostly like my parents' age, saying, I related so much to that line. I don't want to give lines away from the film, but that's exactly what happened in my parents and what my mom told me, what is told and what is not told. My short film isn't really about my grandparents. It's really about what it's like to be the last generation to know survivors and what that kind of anxiety does. And then I don't preach an answer. I'm kind of still interested in seeing what people take away from the short film. I will say, there are constraints in short films. Someone said to me in Austin, when it ended, I just wanted it to keep going. I wanted to know what happened next.
Do you have a feature in mind?
Not for this one. There are other stories that I'm working on in the area, but no, this really is. I felt like this 12, 13 minutes, 13 with the credits. This is really what it's about. Yeah. And music also played a really important role in the film. I did have a Jewish composer, Aaron Simons, did a lovely job. My director, Arnon Shore, he's not here today, but he was also a co-writer, and he had also similar experience to me. My cast, so Eve Austin is here today. She has a lot of friends here. She has a brunette wig that she throws on to play my mother. Wow. There's 4 generations of characters in this story, 3 that you see and 1 that you don't see. Then we have my friend is Elizabeth Ness, lovely actress. She is also from New Jersey. And my daughter is Reese Bogan from the Broadway show Leopoldstadt.
Wow.
She was one of the original cast of the kids in that. So this is her screen debut.
Oh, wow.
And
is she here today too? Or not?
She's not. She's in New York City today. She's been with us in the city. Yeah. She's a kid, so she's they've got a crazy schedule. Yeah, kids today I don't know how they do it.
It's not easy. There's a whole bunch of high school kids earlier today. In their set. So I teach high school, so it's so we ran up for that. But you never know if they're coming or not.
Right.
It's so busy. But
the thing is, everyone is so busy, and so just the fact that we're all here and we can make time to have this.
When is this
sharing?
Yeah, when did
it's at 2? It's going to screen at 2:40.
Okay, so you get an hour. So if you're watching right now, you get an hour.
You can get over here. Run over, and I promise.
Where is it playing?
At the Continental.
Okay, right here,
so
right here in the Berkeley.
Great. And again, while it's a serious subject, it is. I think people, they don't really see it coming. They're like, oh, okay, there's a mother and there's 3 generations, and I'm seeing, these friends get together, but something's something there that it's a little mysterious what's happening. So, and it's not every day that you see people digging up a time capsule. I don't even know if kids do that anymore. I think they would just email themselves something in the future.
I mean, a digital time capsule, but not like that anymore. So yeah. I don't think kids want to sacrifice anything to throw in a time capsule. So that I don't think it's as cool anymore.
I think our cell phones are time capsules because their whole lives are on.
Exactly.
That's the thing is I don't know if it's special. If you have a picture of your life and a video every day, is it special? Whereas these little mementos, letters my friends wrote me in camp, and you'd wait to get them, and just mementos from childhood. They were so special because I don't have a picture of my life every day. I wish I did.
Yeah, we didn't take pictures like that this often, right?
Yeah, we do now though, for sure.
Yeah.
And you said you've screened this already in New York and
this is our New Jersey premiere. We had our world premiere at Soho International Film Festival. We were at the Austin Film Festival, the Denver Jewish Film Festival. Did I say Austin Jewish? Okay, Austin Jewish.
Yes.
My mother, my mother told people we were at the Austin Film Festival, which it was the Austin Jewish Film Festival, and a bunch of other festivals.
No, sounds like
Idlewild.
Sounds like the reaction's been amazing.
It's been really interesting. Of course, when I get to be there, it's interesting to see how people laugh at moments that aren't necessarily comedic, but there's still humor. I mean, listen, my grandparents were the first to evoke humor whenever you can. That's just like a coping mechanism and a tool. And it's a conversation that I think will keep going. So thank you, Garden State, for having. I wish I could just thank everyone. Our DP, Caroline Stuckey.
You can, but
it would take a while. That's what the credits are for.
Well, thank you very much for being part of the festival and bringing your work here. We really appreciate it.
Do you have anything else coming up?
Yeah, what are you working on now?
Anything you're working
on now
nothing I'm going to talk about.
Okay, but you look like you always have stuff.
The seeds of this, I will say, the seeds of this short film, and the title started in 2021. I was riding a bike, and a scene just hit me of these friends digging up the time capsule, and then everything grew from there. So there's always projects happening.
Yeah, you never know when they're going to hit
I like to not talk about things till they're really happening. But it's interesting because the Unburdened, the title, I thought of it many years ago. Then it became like a political thing just a couple of years ago. But I thought of it first. It was my title.
Oh, yeah. No, you had it first.
And I thought, should I change it? Because it's become like sort of... But I know I kept it. I kept the original
That's amazing.
Title.
What are your future plans for this? More film festivals? Or are you going to release it somewhere so more people can see it?
Yes, we're still going to go through film festivals. I'd like to continue this journey. And I also expect to be programming it for audiences that it's relevant for, like on Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day. I'm putting together a program right now with other short filmmakers that made films like around this topic, which is a lot because some of my friends have made films that are, actually taking place during the war, and it's gut-wrenching to watch. And then you've got my short, which takes place today. And then distribution, we'll see where the best place, And I feel like these platforms are changing every single day.
Every second.
Every second, it's a whole new model. So we'll see what happens when it's next year and when it's ready for that.
Great.
But hopefully I want it to be seen, and this is a big part of that journey, being here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we welcome you for sure, and it's so cool that you had that little bit of inspiration you turned into something awesome.
Yeah,
so.
It was not planned, and I'll tell you, if I had sat down with a pen and paper and tried to write it, it would not have happened. It just kind of hit me like a wave one day, and that
destiny, I guess.
And now the wave brought me to Asbury Park, to the beach.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the real waves.
Yeah, for sure. Well, great luck with your screen. You said 2:40.
I should probably run.
Yeah, no, we got you. Yeah, we'll get you there in time.
It's right
for sure.
here. It's right up the stairs.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't want you to be late. But great luck with the screening.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome to the Garden State Film Festival.
Thank you. My home.
Yeah, your home for sure. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you're watching, you have about an hour to get down here to the Berkeley Hotel. Head upstairs, check it out. It's it sounds really amazing.
A few more sets to go, right?
Yeah, a few more sets. You're not too late if you're leaving the house now. Come to the film festival. So buy tickets at the door right in front of us. There's
over there,
right here, and GSFF.org if you need to look at the schedule, everything that's played already, everything that's going to be played, and all the events that are still coming up. So Eric, thank you, man. Thanks for jumping over.
Thanks
here,
for
man.
having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll be streaming all day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.